Nice, hard, long, busy day at work. Nothing nicer than relaxing with an 8-4 draft of RTR. And we've cracked a blood crypt here. It seems probably worth taking it for the tickets, since I'm kind of low on tickets. I keep winning. I have packs galore, but I need tickets. I don't want to trade my packs for tickets and lose the value there. If I were interested in picking the best card in the pack, that might be kind of difficult. It all sucks. There's a hover barrier. I might actually just take the hover barrier if I were not inclined to grab the money, because I'm a big fan of hover barrier. Gate Creeper Vine's alright too. SR Patrol, Spawn of Matty. Even taking the Guild Gate here is not terrible, but clearly the Blood Crypt is better. So, yoink, Blood Crypt. Firemind's Foresight. Failure is good. Spawn of Matty is good. Phantom General can be quite good if you're in Selesnya. Justice is alright, but generally not pickable this highly. Center Healer is alright. Now, the Flailer would follow up the Blood Crypt, obviously. I think the Phantom General is a better card overall, though. And I don't get much of a chance to draft Selesnya. I am passing a healer here, but let's give that shit a shot. Okay. And then, of course, we get past a Bloodfray Giant. Also a Splatter Thug in here. Holy shit. Send a red signal or two. And, yeah. We just have to take the Bloodfray Giant. It's good. Good is the word. It is good. Yeah, and then the Splatter Thug is the second best card in the pack. Both the reds. And then there's some other cards that do other things, but yeah. Bloodfray Giant is ours. We got Fancy Black Bear. We got Chain Wanker. And yeah, Shred Freak is not super fantastic. There's a Guild Gate in there, but Chain Walker's a good card. Just get him up there in our cards. He's a good card. Okay. Sunspire Griffin is an excellent card, but Boros is not, unfortunately, not an option for us. We'd be off to a pretty good Boros deck, I'd say. Hell, it's kind of tempting just to see if I can do it. But the red puts us in either Izzet or Rakdos. We have the mana fix for Rakdos, so we can take the Deviant Glee or a Perilous Shadow, both of which are fine. I think I'll take the Deviant Glee. They're pretty close, I'd say. The Tenement Crasher was also a decent pick there, but they tend to show up a bit later. We have an Underworld Connections here for some reason, so let's make it not here anymore, and make it up here, because that is a good way to draw some cards. And Guild Gate can fix our mana quite well here. Doorkeeper is a very good card. I am a big fan of Doorkeeper. I have milled people out with when you get out multiples of these, and that's typically not what you want to use it for, but I'm sort of leaning pretty heavily into both red and black here, and probably don't want to splash if I can help it, so I'll just take the Guild Gate and make my mana better. And then get past some things that aren't that good for Rakdos, but that's okay. Risen Sanctuary is not fun to play against as Rakdos. I think I'm gonna take the Dredge Beetle, Shiver Surge, the Dredge Beetle. It's possible that it'll end up a little bit. Waha! Hello, Spawn of Rixmatty. What are you doing here? Also, Traitorous Instinct, which is alright. I prefer Spawn of Rixmatty, so I'm going to take it. Foresight still there, does nothing. Does nothing. Does little. Does very small amount. Does very small amount. Take a Drainpipe Vermin, probably not going to play it. Golgari Longlegs. Even Mana Bloom is quite purty here. But, I mean, if we end up in green, it's most likely going to be a splash from what we can tell at this point. Like, unless we open some crazy Golgari shit, and Mana Bloom's not particularly better than Longlegs anyway. I'll take the Shred Freak here. We might end up playing it. This draft is going kind of odd. And the Perilous Shadow that we took the Deviant Glee over. A Bellows Lizard. So, not really anything out right now. Except for Mountain. Fuck you, Mountain. You are ruled out. Because there's a bit of jumping around that's going on here. We got the Cackler, Pyroconvergence, Death's Presence, Azorius Justiciar are in the uncommons and rares. If we look to the commons, then we see Stab Wound, and we immediately ignore all other cards. The Knightly Valor is pretty good. Towering Indrik, all plenty worth ignoring. So, Stab Wound, get in our deck. And that's a Cryptborn Horror, which is definitely quite playable. This thing can be very good in an aggressive Rakdos deck, which will attempt to be. It goes quite good with things like Gutter Snipe here, but we have Bloodfray Giant is trample. Deviant Glee gives trample to all our little dudes. It's just looking to be that kind of deck that's going to suit Cryptborn Horror quite well. So, Cryptborn Horror, you get in there. The Hellhole Flailer versus Frostburn Weird is, in my mind, not even close. Frostburn Weird. Not even close. Not even close. The Flailer's alright, and it's more difficult to get because it's uncommon, whereas the Weird is common and harder to cast in a non-Izzet deck when I'm in Rakdos, because it's essentially just double red. But it's just a better card overall. I've not been let down by playing many Weird. So, alright, we have a Rakdos Charm, which does nothing. So, we're not going to take it. We have a Lotless Troll? What? Wait, what? This is 4th pick, this pack. Is that even worth anything? It's so good. Am I on candid camera? I kind of want to take the launch party for my deck, but Lotless Troll's a Lotless Troll. Wonder if it's worth anything. Let's look it up. .4. It's worth .4. It still kind of sucks to play against it. Whatever. Launch party. Spawn of Rixmatty. We have Traitor's Instinct. We have Dagger Drone Imp. Dark Revenant, I'm not a super huge fan of. Dying and get it on top of your library thing. But I haven't played with it, so I don't know. Just don't know. Spawn of Rixmatty's alright, but we got a bit of a high curve. We kind of want to be more aggressive for the Cryptborn Horror. Traitorous Instinct, don't feel it really helps that, though. Dagger Drone Imp kind of does. We have a Deviant Glee, but Traitorous Instinct's just a better card here. Close to taking the Spawn of Rixmatty. And we got a Chainwalker. Sewer Shambler's alright here. Street Sweeper even is playable. And in a deck like this, you're not really going to want it. Because we want to keep our curve aggressive. So, Chainwalker fits that well. Xanakiv Locust. Xanakiv Locust. I'm okay with Xanakiv Locust. It's not terrible. However, there's a Jailbreaker here. We have one Guild Gate to break him. He's happily sitting in a Xanakiv Locust. Xanakiv Locust. I'm really tempted to pick that Xanakiv Locust. Okay, I'm taking it. Why? Because none of you stopped me. Void Wielder. Still? What's a Void Wielder doing in here? This doesn't make any sense. I think I must be on candid camera. Probably not playing it, but I'm not playing against it. Runewing, Pyro Convergence. How many multicolored spells do I have? A couple. Not really worth playing in my deck right now. Wow! This one's pretty high quality too. We got a Giant Growth, got a Trestle Troll, Doorkeeper, even Keening Apparition. But we are going to take Piddly Little Racketeer. Why? Because who cares? Let's not get Pyro and Convergence on the other side of us. There's Grim Roustabout. Some nice bears to help the curve out. That Beetle out of here, Phantom General out of here. Void Wielder can stay for now. We've got a lot of cards in here that we're likely not going to play. The Vermin, especially the Vermin. Shred Freaking Lizard probably not playing. Void Wielder probably not playing. Pyro Convergence. Get those out of here right now. Dark Revenant. Well, it's my chance to play it. Straight to the side. Street Sweeper. No mountains. We don't want to play mountains. Mountains are bad. Alright, what do we get? Steam Vents. Maybe we will play the Void Wielder. Yeah, this pack really kind of doesn't have anything for us. Without the Steam Vents, it would probably be the Sewer Shambler, which is a perfectly alright card. But let's take 3 tickets, I think. Something like that. Or rather, replace the Steam Vents that I sold that I want to have in my collection anyway. Because I knew I would be drafting enough to keep getting more duels. So, without our lands, we have 20 cards here. Probably not playing the Void Wielder. Almost certainly going to play a 17 land. And we get past Amizium Mortars. Somehow. I don't know what. Okay, so there's a common missing. So, a common slot is what a foil would be. So, I can only assume that there was a foil better than Mizium mortars for whoever passed this pack to me. Which third pack could be a great number of things, I suppose, but hopefully I will run into them and they will lose to Mizium mortars. Okay. We have a Shred Freak. Not super happy on. We have Thought Flare. Thought Flare. We could splash for Void Wielder and Thought Flare. Thought Flare. Dynacharge. Okay, I don't really like any of these cards. Splashing for Thought Flare doesn't seem entirely insane to me right now. It's honestly, I'm thinking it's between that and Dynacharge. Dynacharge. I don't like splashing. Oh, it's awful. Thought Flare. Came down to the end. Lobber Crew. So we take that. Ooh, the Permanity would help us cast our things. Yeah, I'm not losing out on much by picking the Thought Flare over the other two cards in that previous pack. Mind Rot's playable. Void Wielder is a good card. Lobber Crew is better. And whoa! Looks like we're getting cut. Neat. Interlocutors, a Vassal Soul, Ethereal Armor, Batterhorn. It's a dude. Might end up making the list. More Batterhorn. Could hate out a flyer, or I could take a Batterhorn that I'm likely not playing. Get rid of our blue. Want to get rid of our blue yet? I don't know. I don't know anymore. This is insane. Batterhorn. Oh, are we gonna have to play our Dark Revenants because we need playable creatures? That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but it's... I finally will get to know what it's like to play Dark Revenants. Because we're getting cut. Is it Keyrune? Is it really? Okay, as much as that could help us splash those things, I'd rather take a Mind Rot and not have to splash. Catacomb Slug, on the other hand, I don't want. Doorkeeper, I don't want to play against. Alright, we have us a card. It's a Racketer. Shred Freak. Okay, Shred Freak. Alright, cut some of this, cut some of those guys. Cut that. It almost looks like we have a deck here. That Vermin out of there. Bellows Lizard and a couple of Shred Freaks against possibly the flyers that aren't here, that are somewhere in there, in behind the screen, where you can't see them. Hey, Mind Rot. Might not play the second one. The think I want creatures. 16 creatures. Deviant Glee. The early beats. I'm probably going to play the Shred Freaks. Okay, the Lizard. We'll see. Gobble gobble. More cremates. And Forest. Don't play Forest. Fuck you, Forest. So we rare drafted us a couple of duels. Try and keep that out of there. That. You, everyone into the pool. No, not you guys. You guys out of the pool. Or ugh. Good. Glee. Vermin out of the pool. Into the pool. One of you into the pool. One of you into the pool, I think. Okay, questionables. Do. Those are all possible. Shred Freaks versus things like Dark Revenant, Mind Rot. Yeah, I think I would rather have the Shred Freaks. Get in there for some early beats. Try and make it count. So I do have the one Dark Revenant in there. We will see how that guy plays out. 16 creatures. Zanaketh Locust gives me some pretty cool long game. Well, with the cheap scavenge of its 3 counters that you would get. But all in all, it's a strange deck. Only have the one gate, so I think the Locust was the right pick there over the Jailbreaker. So what land do we want specifically? We have some double black here with the Shadow and the Long Legs. Double red with the Frostburn Weird. Double black with the Underworld Connections. Underworld Connections is card drawing. Card drawing counts as mana fix, essentially, because you will draw into your other colors faster. Bloodfray Giant wants to come down early. Frostburn Weird wants to come down early. So this is very close. But I think because of the Underworld Connections, I want the extra black. Despite having Frostburn Weird come down early, being really good, yeah, I think the Underworld Connections fixing my mana just works better to do this. And then, Perilous Shadow is powered up as possible. We get our Long Legs out very consistently. But the Underworld Connections is just the one that we're going to lean towards here with our mana concern. Bloodfray Giant. Because Bloodfray Giant is a better card than either Perilous Shadow or Golgari Long Legs. So maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should be leaning towards red. Let's see what Suggest says. Wow. Suggest says to lean towards black. I mean, we do have the extra sources of each by having 2 sources, or sources for each color in each one of the lands. But I actually think that hitting my Bloodfray Giant is too important for this deck. more so than hitting underworld connections. I can drop this a little bit closer to mid-game and have it push me towards advantageous in the long game. Perilous Shadow is... what's going on here? Someone's talking to me. I don't know what's going on. Who is this? And what do they want? Anyway, we'll do that. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to submit this. See you game 1.